full-time the under-23, Sydney University 2. Next to golf from Juliet Chu and Sienna Barron, Sydney Olympic medal. Up next, first grade, in about 10 minutes. Welcome to Sydney Football Ground for this round 16 clash. Football New South Wales, Sydney University versus Sydney Olympic. Starting lineups for today, the away team first. Starting Sydney Olympic, number 7, Lola Sasay. Number 8, Tiana Petkovsky. Number 10, Ruby Nathan. Number 11, Jules Nicholas. Number 17, Morgan Witts. Number 19, Peter Trimmis. Number 39, Sophia Varley. Number 52, Jaya Bowman. Number 58, Maya Fernandez. Number 61, Tess Quilligan. And rounding up the starting line, number 66, Baxter Few. On the bench today for Olympic, number 9, Lauren Nada. Number 12, Bella Boise Yordan. Number 15, Tiana Woods. Number 24, Isabel Antoniou. Number 28, Rochelle Baronio. And number 30, Kyra Bolden. Coach of Sydney Olympic is Samantha McGowan. The university today, starting lineup, number 4 and captain Talia Sandbrook. Number 6, Julia Harris. Number 8, Maddie Van Dyke. Number 9, Poppy Tay. Number 12, Sarah Farrow. Number 15, Maddie Caspers. Number 20, Ellen Hughes. Number 24, Sandy Jury. Number 28, Isabella Rad. Number 31, goalkeeper Scarlett Gray. And number 39, Asha Sutton. On the bench today for University, number 10, Jenny Hill. Number 19, Norva Jazi. Number 21, Chelsea Homrick. Number 27, Juliet Chu. Number 30, Grace Chagaza. Number 33, Claudia Pickett. And rounding up University on the bench, number 35, Georgia Hill. University coached by Riley Becky and Sadie Taylor and managed by Lisa Purdy and Patricia Savalas. Looking forward to a good match. Good luck, girls, and enjoy.
Well, the weather's cooling down at this time of year, but the action's heating up in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. And we are on Gadigal land and Sydney University football ground for this round 16 clash in the NPL Women's Comp. Sydney University hosting Sydney Olympic. Usual kits for both. The famous blue and gold quarter kit for the hosts, Sydney Uni, and the predominantly blue kit for Sydney Olympic. The away side, this is Eric Subihano with the commentary, and it is a thrill to call a game featuring two famous clubs in New South Wales football. Well, for Sydney University, trying to get back to the finals for the first time since they won the league title in 2022. It is a long road ahead of them, but 3 points here today will certainly help. While for Olympic, they enter the round, I believe, in 9th position, and they will be hoping for, at the very least, a finish in the top half of the season. They have signed fair bit of A-League talent in the mid-season registration window, and things could be picking up for the team from the crest. But anyway, there's the whistle. Away we go. So I'll go through the lineups in just a moment. But charging through the middle is Tess Quilligan for Olympic, and then Juliana Nicholas, former Sydney Uni player. That's Morgan Witts, as it's Olympic who make the first attempt at some kind of foray into the box. A decent ball in, but fielded by Scarlett Gray, the Sydney Uni keeper. Might as well start there with the lineup. Yes, in goal is number 31, Scarlett Gray. In defence, I expect number 24, Zanta Juric. Number 4, the captain, Talia Sandbrook. Number 6, Juliet Harris. And number 12, Sarah Farrow. In midfield, number 8, Madison Van Dyke. Number 15, Madeline Caspers. And number 28, Isabella Rad. And up front, scorer last week, number 39, Asha Sutton, as well as Uni's top scorer for the season with 7. That's number 9, Poppy Tay. And rounding out the starting lineup for the hosts is number 20, Ellen Hughes. Sydney Uni are coached by Xavier Taylor. Now, with Olympic passing it around the back, haven't seen Sydney Uni in a while. I'm not as brave to try and hazard a guess at their formation, but as that goes out of Farrow, maybe I'll give it a go. I can tell you that the goalkeeper is number 39, Sophia Varley. The rest of their starting lineup, number 7, Lola Sosai. Number 8, Tiana Petkovsky. Number 10, Ruby Nathan. Number 11, Juliana Nicholas. Number 17, Morgan Witts. Number 19, Peter Trimmis. Number 52, Jaya Bowman. Number 58, Maya Fernandez. Number 61, Tess Quilligan. And number 66, Baxter Thew. Sydney Olympic are coached by Samantha McGowan, as that is a decent ball out to the left side, where Witts will have an early one-on-one chance and gets into the box, so that's decent work. And then it is cleared away, and Witts caught the eye. First season at Sydney Olympic, currently leads them in the goal-scoring tally with 8 goals so far in 2026. Trying to set one up that time as he is... And actually, Adef had a quick look, and we got numbers not matching dribble, so I'm going to have to work that one on the fly. Baxter Thew is wearing number 72, my apologies. I reckon it is Jaya Bowman in number 66. Now, it's entirely possible I wrote that wrong in my notebook in the first place, so let's just double-check that. But that definitely does appear to be Jaya Bowman chasing this off her head, and with the pressure arriving, goes back to Thew. To Sosai, and then trying the far side. Sydney Olympic found most of the ball so far, but we've only had 3 minutes played, and barely, not a shot as of yet. But there have been plenty of shots and plenty of goals today in NPL Women's New South Wales. And there was a game last night in this competition as well, but as which tries once again, and Farah with a good shepherd to allow the ball to roll over the goal line. Yes, goals today. Well, there were 8 of them in the early game at Northbridge Oval, a 4-4 draw between Bulls FC Academy and Spirit FC. It's quite the thrill, and I can report that the latest episode of the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman had a dramatic ending. Liz Barwick-Gray scoring a stoppage time equaliser for the Bulls to earn a 4-4 draw. And then at Lakelands Oval in Dapto, I can report it was UNSW defeating Illawarra Stingrays by 3-1. And there are also a lot of goals at the Arctic Circle. I don't think this game is quite finished, but last time I checked, Ravens beaten Rangers by 6-0. Anyway, that's a nice move on the far side for Sydney Uni. Ball into the box, swept up by Bowman, and I think Hughes was the closest one trying to arrive, but not getting there in time. And by the way, this other progress score. So there was a game that would have probably finished by now, but we send our best wishes to MacArthur Rams forward Marcela Santos, who suffered a serious injury. Did cause a long stoppage in the game. Last time I checked, Apia were leading by 2-0 down at Linwood Park, as Hughes will keep it away from Thew, surrounded by Olympic players, has a shot, and that's the first save of the game, and caught fairly comfortably by Sophia Varley. And by the way, I think the only game I haven't mentioned yet is the other game that's scheduled for 5 p.m. today, and that's in Rudy Hill, with Western Sydney Wanderers Academy hosting Hills United. Probably should shout out the League One women's match of the round as well. That was also a 5 p.m. kickoff today, and that's Marconi Stallions hosting the PNFC. So plenty of football for you to enjoy, of course. Now, actually, should probably mention the sets of substitutes, players we would expect to see later. 6 subs named for Olympic. And we'll hold that thought, because that's a good off-the-ball run from Quilligan. Sneaks it into the box. I think that's Nicholas, who will have a shot, and it's blocked well by Rad. Yes, it was Nicholas, and if there was a team that you think, if there was any team in this league who you think would be aware of Juliana Nicholas's left foot shooting ability, it would be her former club, Sydney Uni. Good block from Rad there. And now Uni trying to counter. Could be promising. 3-on-5, I think. But the 3 are making a good go of it. Poppy Tay wants the early ball into Mill. Strong run there. It's still going. And eventually multiple Olympic defenders required to clear the danger. Yes, that Olympic bench, by the way. Erin Diavatiotis, Lauren Nada, Bella Voisey-Ulden, Isabel Antonio, Rochelle Borromeo, and Kira Bolden. While for Sydney Uni, Chelsea Cromack is the backup keeper. 7 on their bench. By the way, the other 6 are Jenny Hill, Noor Hijazi, Juliet Chu, Grace Cho-Treganza, Claudia Pickett, and Georgia Lim. And amongst those subs, Juliet Chu scored in the under-23s game played just before this one, a 2-0 win for Sydney University, and the other uni goal scored by Sienna Barham in the what you might call the curtain raiser for first grade. It's Quilligan, plays it out wide. I think that's Trimmers, and if you've ever seen Peter Trimmers play before, whether that be for Central Coast Mariners or Bulls FC Academy or Football New South Wales Institute, as Sosai has a long-range shot that's saved. Or possibly even there might be some of you out there who've seen Peter Trimmers play futsal for Quake. I suppose it's possible. But, yes, Trimmers, great burst of speed. And a great shot as well. So that'll be something for Uni definitely to keep an eye on. I believe it's Zante Juric who will be, looks like she'll be matched up with Trimmers most of the time. As Thew, move it to Olympics right-hand side. And Uni standing off for now. Bowman. And Bowman, I think, just ran out of room. And there's for Olympic. A draw last time out, 2-2. Draw in the Northern Beaches, but winless in their last 3 games. And currently, they started the round in 9th on 17 points, if I remember correctly, actually looking at the ladder. Assuming Ravens didn't throw away a 6-0 lead against Rangers, but I know that is an assumption, but let's assume that for now, as the live ladder would look, Olympic have actually dropped to 10th place. But yes, as Thew clears that into, well, that's actually, might even gone out of the ground for a moment. Olympic have recruited some very talented players. And in fact, you might, if you were a little bit cheeky, you could rename them Central Coast Olympic, because Peter Trimmers, Jaya Bowman, Tess Quilligan and Baxter Thew all played for the Mariners during the last summer in the A-League season. As Quilligan, I think it is drawing the foul there. And 10th minute here in Camperdown, 0-0 between Sydney University and Sydney Olympic. Juric anticipating it well, but the ball's just run out over the far touchline. Cross from deep. Good jump from Sandbrook. Nathan, looking for the scraps, has a shot. It takes a deflection. And it will go wide of the goal and also away from Wits. So that's the first corner of the game going to Olympic. Pretty sure that's Wits who's by the corner flag and all those cones. This set piece, in fact, might have, yes, a referee who, list I've been given for this week says the referee Sean Lacey. Is just asking Wits to reposition the ball. Berman thought about being the short option, then decided against it. Low cross and into the side netting, so no real danger for Uni there. And for Sydney Uni, could say winless in their last 4, but only one of them was actually a defeat. The other, that being 2 weeks ago in a 3-0 loss to RPL Leichhardt, although RPL Leichhardt have the Golden Boot leader, Ashley Leder, so I think teams can be somewhat forgiving for losing to them. But other than that, a trio of 1-1 draws in the last 4 weeks against UNSW, against Manly, and against the Ravens. But all things told, 5th place. That's where they see themselves after the opening 15 rounds. big improvement on where they were last year. As that is out to Sutton. Sutton, seen her play this year. She loves running at defenders. She'll take on Sosai here. Wants it back on the right foot. And Sosai, that's excellent defending. She'll need to be alert. Asha Sutton has had her fair share of viral moments to be put on the NPL New South Wales social media channels, including last week, an excellent free kick in the 1-1 draw against Ravens. As that is a foul won by Olympic. Now, Quilligan was pressed by multiple players. Now, long-range shot coming in, and just looking. Yes, I should have gone with my first instinct. That was Maddie Caspers trying to score from 40 yards out, and quite get the elevation she wanted. As Bowman could be in a bit of trouble here, and Ellen Hughes might have taken the ball off her. Bowman hasn't given up on it. Good run from Hughes. Caspers is the supporting option. Quick passing there. Van Dijk protects the ball. Back again to Hughes. There's options in the middle. Decent looking cross. And now, does it break for Sutton? It's blocked by Thew. And Thew, zero chance of giving a handball and a penalty away there. Hands behind the back, but it is first corner of the game going to the hosts. In swinger. And, well, could be a chance. And who was that lunging in? It was a needed block, whoever it was. Sutton with another cross, headed away, only as far as Van Dijk. Now Van Dijk, lots of Olympic players in front of her, and one of them has won the ball. In fact, I think Van Dijk leaving a foot in there on Fernandez, so Olympic free kick. Once before I forget, we did have the semi-finals for the greatest cup competition in the world, the Sapphire Cup, during the week. So congratulations by the way, to the other uni in this comp, UNSW, the undefeated league leaders, making their first ever Sapphire Cup final, courtesy of a 2-1 win over Hills United on Wednesday night at Valentine Sports Park. How's the memory? Apologies to the second goal. So I've genuinely forgotten who scored the second goal. The first goals from long range scored by former Sydney Uni player Bianca Gidney. You may know her as Bianca Galic. Croatian international did get married recently. And I believe UNSW actually. There were details released for. I'll go back to hold that thought. As it's an Olympic attack with Quilligan. Trimus to the byline. Drags it back. Now it's Quilligan who delivers. Decent effort, flicked away. And then there's a chance. Great save from Gray to deny Witts. That is an impressive save from the young shot stopper. Had her body weight going to her right. Plunged to her left. Strong left hand. Kept the ball out. Stays 0-0. As Farrow just decides to get it out of Uni's defensive third. As I try to minimize my half-told stories. Yes, by the way, the Sapphire Cup final. Good to know a date for that has already been decided. So we'll see if UNSW can win their first ever Sapphire Cup final. Wednesday, 15th of July, 7 p.m. kickoff at Valentine Sports Park. Working the left side. Sutton with a touch past the defender, but no chance of getting round the defender to maintain the ball. So it's Thew for Olympic. More direct play, and Sandbrook was there, wants the touch. They'll get the decision as well. Now, that is an impressive length of throw from Sarah Farrow. That'll be something to keep an eye on when Sydney Uni get an attacking throw. She keeps that up, they'll be calling her the Megan Campbell of Camperdown. As Farrow again down the line. Olympic with the defensive header. And Fernandez to Quilligan. Sosai started the run to add width on the far side. And the Lola's racing away. Nicholas. Drifting backwards, but found the open player who's Fernandez. Nice drop of the shoulder. And then... Oh, that's just a bit of breakdown in communication. Was look promising there, and... Well, Sosai definitely a defender, but will move forward when the opportunity presents itself. The 18th minute here. At the Sydney Uni ground, 0-0 between Sydney Uni and Sydney Olympic. Eric Subihano with the commentary for this round 16 game. Nicholas tried to return the favour, but Hughes was in the way. Now as Caspers had a look up, and Caspers with the ball that Tay's not going to get a hold of. Widths. Now Nathan can't keep it going, but not long before Olympic get it back. When these two teams met in the first half of the season, it was round 3 at the Crest. It ended up being a 4-1 win to Sydney Olympic over the Uni. And given the league position the two teams end up with, bit of a surprise when you look back at it. For Olympic, things kind of picking up a bit more in the recent weeks, but then you look back, Olympic certainly did need that win. It was one of only 2 wins they had in the opening 7 rounds. The other win, the opening 7 rounds, being on the opening day when they beat Spirit 6-1. And the less said about Spirit in the early part of the season, the better, I suppose. As that's moved left to Witts. Cuts inside, has a shot, and Gray reaches out with the left hand. Another good save. That's going to be Olympic's second corner of the game. And by the way, time for my customary plug of the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week, released on Monday, tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, on our socials at NPL_NSW_official is the Instagram handle. NPL New South Wales also has a Facebook page, and it's the Team of the Week comprised of 3-2-1 votes from the Football New South Wales media. In swinger, and it's a flying header, and it's in, and Olympic have drawn first blood. A set piece, it's always so dangerous when you see an in-swinger whipped in towards the near post with pace. And Olympic, a much needed goal.
I think it might have been an own goal.
Yes, and now
Sydney 0, Sydney Olympic 1.
Yes, well, the ground announcer possibly.
I think so.
Yeah, so the ground announcer think it was an own goal. That's why I hesitated. I wasn't sure either, but yeah, it was an opening goal. The somewhat muted celebration from Olympic. A couple of congratulations to the corner taker, who I think was Nicholas, tells the tale that they weren't really focusing on anyone in particular. But as a good friend of mine says, They don't draw pictures on the score sheet. What matters is they put the ball over the line, and Olympic are in front. Yes, so we'll call that one an own goal. Olympic trying to score a goal off one of their own players, and Witz cutting inside again, has the shot, and this time a more comfortable save for Scarlet Grey. Now Farrer is high and wide on the near touchline. A run coming from Sambrook. Sambrook aiming a little bit more centrally. Tay will chase this one and bounces away from her. Thew able to play it out from inside her own penalty area. There's room. Petkovsky. And now that's a great ball. I think that looks like Nicholas on the right-hand side. My apologies, that was Peter Trimmis. It was a promising looking ball, and you know what, that's pretty impressive, catching up to Peter Trimmis. Good defending to prevent the cross. So Olympic throw-in coming up. Sambrook with the toe to get it away, and now Tay might have stolen in, and Poppy Tay hits the grass. And Jaya Bowman apologising, but that will be the first yellow card of the game. Possibly, what is the phrase, stopping a promising attack. And it's great skill from Tay. She doesn't just score goals, she's great at the holder play, being the target forward and getting Sydney Uni into those attacking positions in the first place. A little change of pace. Was able to fool Bowman, who was the first player into the notebook. 24 minutes or thereabouts played here. Sambrook now thinking about what she'll do with this set piece. It's up into the mixer over Tay and played away possibly by Fernandez. And Nicholas is quick, and then the bounce just got away from her. Otherwise, that could have been a counter for Olympic. Rod has the pass intercepted, but then given straight back. Here's Farrow. Now Harris stepping into midfield as they try to start a move, but off-target passes giving the ball back to their opponents. Thew. And that's Fernandez dropping between defenders, trying to drag a Uni player out as they're all very deep for the moment. Farrow sends one into the crowd. And it's time to retrieve a second ball, and yes, that's a rare one, taking it from too far behind the throw-in position. Don't see that too often. Yes, and he's got to keep going forward. Okay. Anyway, as we play around the back, we'll have to go around the grounds here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Progress score, it's midway through the first half in Rooty Hill. Wanderers Academy 0, Hills United 2. Might take a closer look at that at halftime break. That is not what I expected to see. In the late stages of the game at Linwood Stadium, MacArthur 1, RPL Leichhardt 2. By the way, when I say MacArthur by itself, I mean the Rams. You know, the team that actually plays in MacArthur. I know some people call the Bulls MacArthur, but come on, man, they play in Northbridge. Anyway, it's Quilligan on the ball. Again, more touches for the defenders as Bowman advances it. Wide option is Petkovsky. And then it's Kaspers closing down. And then it's Sandbrook's turn to do the shepherding over the byline. So uni goal kick, and yes, final score at the Arctic Circle was 6-0 to the Ravens over the Rangers. So for you, how can I put this, club championship aficionados, there's 23 games in progress, but as of right now, Spirit have moved off the bottom of the NPL Women's New South Wales Club Championship, and that's offside. Offside to stop what looked like a promising move, and yes. And Spirit, who didn't, got to be careful not to sound mean here, didn't get a point in the opening 12 rounds in club championship terms. As of right now, they moved up to 13th. Rangers now in last place. As Thew with the diagonal, that... Witz did keep it in, so that's a good run. She'll head for the box, and then ball is sent away by a defender. And there's some discussion going on in the near touchline in front of us as Bowman just can't keep it. And now down the line it goes. Header from Thew, but Uni are now in opposition territory. Jan Farah goes for distance. Again, Thew with the header. And, you just keep advancing it down the near touch line. Farah, a bit of a shorter one this time, aimed, I think, for Tay. And now overlap run from Kaspers. And yeah, good one-on-one defending, getting the touch off Kaspers to win the ball back. Kaspers, good technique, into the box. Trying to find a cross. Thew with a good block. Kaspers scrapping away as Fernandez is left on the grass. Great work from Kaspers. Can she find a teammate? Not quite. Van Dijk. Still Van Dijk. And she's fouled, so this is a big chance for Sydney Uni. Right on the edge of the box. Remember what I said? Asher Sutton scored from a free kick last week. And I think that was from a more difficult position than this particular free kick. Sutton not messing about. She's headed straight to the dead ball, and her teammates seemingly not even daring to challenge her authority for the dead ball. 4 in the wall, set by Sophia Varley. There we go. We know what's coming next. Sutton shoots, and it took a touch off Olympic, so that's a corner. Sutton's dead ball expertise also extends to corner kicks. And as the referee, Sean Lacey, just make sure the bootlace is tied. And by the way, I can't have an incomplete third team shout out, so by the way, the assistant on the near side to us, our filming position, is John Garcia. Assistant on the far side is Aliyah El Zain. Casper's not going to be the short option. She'll head into the middle, and the runners attacking this ball. It's over everyone. Sandbrook was the closest. Bowman lets it run for a goal kick. So past the half-hour mark here in Camperdown. It's Sydney Olympic leading Sydney University by a 1-0. And there's an own goal, we believe, after what was a great corner kick delivery. I believe that was Nicholas with the left-footed in-swinger. It proved to be too difficult to defend. Olympic have the scoreboard advantage here. There's Varley for a bit of a run outside the box. Now Bowman, that touches interested Tay, and Farrow's in there as well. Now Farrow, and then a little bit of hesitation there, giving the ball away. Dew looks up. Again, another pass to Bowman, but Uni showing a bit more proactiveness in the press, but nevertheless, Olympic advancing down the left side. Petkovsky blocked by Sandbrook. Corner kick. That's Witts. I'll take the kick from the flag. Aimed at the back post, over Thew, over Trimmis as well. Thew's the one that gives chase, but Casper's now wanting to play it out. Now, Rod's given a bit of a task. But somehow gets it all the way to Tay, and Tay could be one-on-one here against Bowman. It's an unfortunate one for Tay off the heel. It's given Olympic a chance. I was about to say, those situations, well, we'll hold that thought as Caspers. So Caspers has some support with her. One of them is Tay, edge of the box. Tay. And clean tackle just inside the box. Puts that move to an end. Here's Nicholas. Much needed intervention, I think, from Harris. And now Harris. Caspers has stayed up and a little bit sore, but she's fine to continue the ball, just like flicking off the back of her head. Now, ball with Sophia Varley's possession. Bowman shakes off Hughes. Aimed the pass for Nicholas. And that's Van Dyke with the interception. Nathan bounces it back to Witts. Witts crosses and sliced behind. Corner number 4 for Sydney Olympic in this evening's game. Well, we'll set up for this set piece. Shout out to next weekend's action on Football New South Wales YouTube channel across the 2 women's comps, NPL Women's New South Wales and the second tier League 1 Women's. But on Saturday, 27th of June at the Arctic Circle, bit of a derby this one, 3 p.m. Spirit hosting Northern Tigers. That corner low and cleared to safety. And another game you can watch next weekend on our YouTube page. Sunday 28th of June, 2:40 p.m. kickoff from Northbridge Oval. What a game this one is. The top 2. Second place Bulls FC Academy hosting the undefeated league leaders at UNSW. The roster says Annabelle Banfield. I know she plays in her own team on Sundays. I mean, it's her life, but if I was her, I'd forget park football and call a top-of-the-table clash. Thew works it back to Varley. It's Quilligan taken over. Going left. Witts will run at Farrow once more. And Farrow, great. Defending, preventing the cross. First job of a fullback there. Another corner for Olympic. And 7 days' time, Sunday 28th of June, there's a pair of games at 3 p.m. in NPL Women's. There's MacArthur Rams versus Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. Roster says that'll be called by Mark DePaoli. Also at 3 p.m, Emily Arnold is taking the trip down to the South Coast to call Illawarra Stingrays versus Gleysville Ravens. Whipped in, it's high, and it's a chance and it's a goal. And that one is definitely a goal scored by an Olympic player. Looks to be Baxter Thew, who rose highest. And textbook downward header. That's escaped everyone and gone over the line. Sydney Olympic looking great here to get back to winning ways. It was a wonderful corner kick. And yes, definitely off Baxter Thew.
University 0, Sydney Olympic 2.
And that is Baxter Thew's first goal of the season. To the 39th minute here. It really was a fantastic corner kick. And swerve and dip right onto Thew's forehead. Sosai. Trimis. Again, burst of acceleration. He tries to take on two. Trimis does well. Here's Quilligan. Now Petkovsky more centrally. I think she thought about the shot, then thought better of it. Back to Thew. Bowman. Nice 1-2. Bowman shoots from range, and that is easy for Gray to save. Caspers can't get away from two players, and has also given away a free kick. Other games you can watch next weekend on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. A pair of 5 p.m. games in NPL Women's New South Wales. Firstly, I'll be making the long trip to the Northern Beaches. And it's great to have an opportunity to call another game featuring the girls from Lambert Park. So yes, that's RP away to Manly, 5 p.m. in 7 days' time. Also at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 28th of June. Here at the Sydney Uni Ground, it's Sydney University versus the Rangers, called by Will Constantinidis. And then at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday 28th of June from Valentine Sports Park, Hills United against Sydney Olympic, called by Teo Pellizzeri. Header from Nathan, kept it alive. So does Fernandez. Out to Trimis. Trimis. Good cross. Gray doesn't get there. Here's Ruby Nathan. Surely she's denied. Still a chance. Blocked again. Ruby Nathan. It's somehow stayed out. Petkovsky has it deflected behind for a corner. How did that not go in? Great ball in from Peter Trimis. Had Gray lunging, but she couldn't get a touch on it. And credit to about 4 players in blue and gold just getting their bodies in the way to prevent Olympic scoring a third goal before the interval. But Olympic, as we've seen, they've already scored from 2 corners so far in this first half, as there's the signal. And still it might be up for grabs. And I think Gray, that ends up being a save for Gray. As that might break for Tay. Tay's got a lot of work to do, and Quilligan tenacious in the defending. Gray finds Sutton. Sutton wants to go direct, and they think that's going to be too direct. So yes, Sophia Varley will settle things down. By the way, next weekend, League One Women's Match of the Round, Sunday 20th of June, 5 p.m. from Gabby Stadium. You might call it Landon Stadium, but I'll call it Gabby Stadium. Anyway, it's Blacktown City against South Coast Flame. Great turn from Nicholas. And then just blue and gold wherever she looks, but she's done brilliantly. Now Witts. Nathan. Pretty sure she stayed on side. Yep, the flag will stay down. Whips it in to the edge of the box. And neat little prod from Hughes to keep it away from Quilligan, who I'm pretty sure was about to shoot. Now Sutton will run. And Sutton can't work the 1-on-2 there. As Trimis cushions the ball. Now more centrally, Fernandez spins away from the challenge. As Farrow covering there. And now it's Gray to not really get away, but she has found a teammate at least. Gray again. Out to Harris, I think. There's Sosai. And Sosai just goes for safety. Now, that's a strong run. And into the box. There's 3 uni players in the box here. Sosai gets in the way of the cross. Takes a tumble, but it doesn't matter. She blocked the path to goal. It will be a corner to Sydney Uni. Here we go. In-swinger coming up, you would think. It's high. Harris is there. Gets a touch on it. And is there a chance? Oh, they did. Sometimes keepers are a protected species. Not that time, but it is brave and very good goalkeeping from Sophia Varley. Diving at the feet of an attacker. Now, first quick stoppage to check that Varley is okay. And up and running once again here. Half time, about to enter stoppage time, of which I don't know how much they'll be played. Foul. There. And you'd think, well, still try, but you'd think Sydney Olympic would be happy with a 2-goal lead going into the dressing rooms. Maybe there's a chance for one more chance for them, or for Sydney Uni, as that's deflected and goes out to Hughes. Nathan pressing. Hughes goes back. Also, as Van Dijk helps win it back, and that's good skill from Caspers. Caspers tried the pass to Sutton. And another ball aimed at Sutton, and then it's slammed into a face from point-blank range. That looks painful, so let's hope Asher Sutton is okay. Thankfully, halftime is nearly upon us. In fact, that is halftime, so at the uni so far, we've had a lesson in set pieces from Sydney Olympic. They're leading by 2-0 over Sydney University. The first one was an own goal. The second was scored by Baxter Thew, and the team in blue in a strong position as they head to the dressing sheds. This is Eric Subiano with the commentary from Sydney Uni Football Ground. Thanks for your support of our YouTube channel and the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. See you soon.
field. Switches it out to the far side for Paige. Abdul Massey crossing it in. Sky Holmerick up for the header. And what a goal there. Sky, perfect position here for the ball. And it proved that she did. She's whipped that into the bottom corner there. So a massive change in the Spirit personnel. Chance here for Fuller to get the shot away. And she has gotten the shot away and just through the fingers there. Excellent whipped in free kick there and rebounding off and tapped it in the...
So 2 straight starts for her after signing as Vanderlaan goes into the box. Short pass away to Phillips. Phillips shoots, gets it past Sophia Fante. And Patria Phillips has the opener here. Looking for Sarkis here on the near side. Put up into the air by Jasmine Melly. Luchtmeyer in behind the defensive line. Luchtmeyer lines up the shot, beats Sophia Fante, and it's 2-0. That's goal number 5. Corner comes in. Headed down by Barwick Gray. Ferris has put it home. And it's 3 for the Bulls. The Rams players want offside. Luchtmeyer goes into the box. Across. Looking for Phillips. It'll be pushed away by Liana Luong. Only as far as Janaea Dos Santos. Cuts back on the left. Janaea Dos Santos off the underside of the crossbar. We've got 3 kickoffs at 5 p.m. Amber Luchtmeyer into the box. Luchtmeyer shoots. Luchtmeyer at the double. And Amber does indeed have the answer.
Got shut off. And now it's Anton. Anton will just slide a ball onto her right. On the field now, should note his grass as well. So there's the header by Gordon. Oh, Gordon! Again, we'll look to her right. She does go to McMahon. McMahon can't take the shot. Ball slides into the middle. Beth Gordon's got a chance to make it a double. Beth Gordon! Make it 3. Roche makes the first save. Evans hits the bar, bounces back. Finally, it's in. Mortlock sweeping up. And the Northern Tigers lead 3-0.
That one's been turned in. Goal to UNSW. There's the opener we were talking about.
It's a 2-0 loss to the Wanderers and then a 1-0 loss to Spirit. On the attack here, trying to get a quick one. Trimmers, that's a good ball in towards Nathan. And she taps it in. Bates. Low cross, it's flicked on. And that's a fantastic header. Just what they were after. Committed. And now Kerr has stayed on side here. It's with Kerr. She gets the touch and gets her second goal of the night to put Manly in front on the 88th. Just her 7th start of the campaign here tonight in all competitions. That concludes the 23s. Trimis is getting forward herself. An Olympic equaliser.
Let's come out here to Pepino on the charge. Surrounded by uni players. Still going is Pepino. Nearly got the pass away to Karmas. Pepino with an early goal for the Gladesville Ravens. And there it is, top left corner from Asher Sutton.
In the corner goes Davidson's attacking it, gets the header, and they're celebrating, and is it going to count? It is, so a bit of confusion, but there you go. Keeps it moving on the left-hand side. There's 2 of them there as Capitanelis crosses in and just about kept it out, but there's a header, and that'll be put in. So they weren't behind for long, and Apia Laika, I think it's Fongsongkham getting the celebrations. Now Walker, good ball, Capitanelis, and now little prod. Here's Fongsongkham left side of the box, squares it, and a chance for Letta, and Ashley Letta has slammed it into the back of the net. And Apia will be... That is a good touch from Bofields, directing the runners, so Capitanelis. The cut inside, beats the challenge now. This is a good shooting option. Capitanelis, what a brilliant goal to make it 3-1. Cutting inside, that left foot absolutely deadly. boomed forward by Norval. Now, Fonseca stayed on side. We'll give chase. He'll get to this one. A little fake. Now, Fonseca, great work. Chance here, and just scores. That is wonderful. Susan Fonseca. Off the long pass. Welcome back to the second half of our NPL Women's New South Wales coverage from Camperdown. The score is currently Sydney University 0, Sydney Olympic 2. Second period about to get underway. There's the whistle. Away we go from Sean Lacey. Eric Subihano here with the commentary from this wonderful position at the top of the Sydney Uni grandstand. In case you missed any of the action, just a case of clicking back on the YouTube stream to see what you missed. But 2 corners for Olympic led to the 2 goals, 1 own goal, and 1 goal from Baxter Thew, her first goal of the NPL, of the 2026 NPL campaign, as that swung in, and Thew using her head in a defensive sense that time, and Fernandez deciding to go safety first with the header behind. That corner number 4 by my manual tally. Corner number 4 for this evening's hosts. And I believe that would be Sutton on the far side, near the picket fence. And it's a good delivery, and then that is great handling from Sophia Varley. She's won the free kick as well. Great catch in traffic. So, had a chance to use the halftime break to go around the grounds. Just double check the scores. So yes, there was a game last night, but let's talk about the thriller at Northbridge Oval earlier this afternoon. 4-4 between Bulls FC Academy and Spirit FC. Other full-time scores: MacArthur Rams 1, Apia Leichhardt 2. I'm told the customary goal for Ashley Letter plus a goal for Susan Fongsokam is what gave Apia victory. And the Rams goal was courtesy, I believe, from Kira Bobbin. Down on the south coast, Illawarra Stingrays 1, UNSW 3. At the Arctic Circle, Ravens 6, Rangers 0. Last time I checked the score from Rudy Hill. Now, if you're watching along with this, if you've been like flicking in and out, I could say there's actually an issue with the score bug for the Wanderers versus Hill stream. It's counting goals double, apparently. Says it's 2-2, but it was 1-1 last time I checked. As Hughes to swing it in, and off Thew, and the keeper hesitates. It could be a chance. It's a penalty. That's a penalty for Sydney Uni. Now, this is something I'm going to have to scramble to look back on the stream. It's good work by whoever that was to keep that alive at the back post. And there, we're not long into the second half, and there's a great chance for Sydney Uni to really put some pressure on and claw their way back into the contest. And any discussions about whether that decision was the right one, it doesn't really matter in the end because it will be a spot kick. I think it was Farrow there was a collision, I believe, between Farrow, who did well to keep it alive at the back post, that set piece, and Sophia Varley. And now that's led to this penalty kick. Here we go. It's Asher Sutton. And Sutton has it saved. Does she get to the rebound? Sophia Varley pounces on the loose ball. It stays 2-0 to Olympic. And she gets well-deserved congratulations. She gave away the penalty. She saved it as well. Plunging to her left. I was checking it out on the stream. And yes, 2 hands to that from Varley. And as all goalkeeping coaches teach their students, well, got to get up after you make, got to get up quickly after you make a save in case you need to make another one. Now, big collision. Olympic free kick. Now, Fernandez, well, she's feeling quite sore. We might see the physio being waved on. So we'll see. And yeah, so there's going to be a break in play while Fernandez is checked on. Discussion for Olympic. No, I haven't had just the joy of seeing a penalty save, but I think that's good experience from Baxter Theo. I think she was the one that called everyone in because I think it would be worrying for the visitors that they let that situation develop in the first place. Okay, so Fernandez is back to her feet. That's the most important thing. So feeling a bit sore. Hopefully we will see her resume her place in the Olympic midfield where she's been very tidy so far. Now aimed at Trimis. Trimis, I think, got the slightest of touches, but then it is Harris sending the ball into the grandstand. And Fernandez waved back on, so Olympic weren't short-handed for too long. In fact, didn't even have to defend for 10 players for any length of time, as they had the ball while Fernandez was off the field. Caspers now. View. Off the outside of the boot and out for a Sydney Uni throw. Now, that's great skill from Trimmers. The second defender is Hughes, who's taken it off her. Now, Juric tried to turn past Trimmers, but it's ended up being a throw into Olympic. He's got one on Fernandez here. Yeah, looks to be moving freely. And there she goes. Plays the pass, gets away from Petkovsky, but Nicholas takes over, finds the wide player. Another run coming up from Witz into the box. Shoots. Saved by Gray. Safe hands. Nicholas goes wide. Possession play for Olympic. Sosai. Nice vision. Bowman's the open player. Now Petkovsky can drive through the middle. Perhaps looking for options. The option is to go herself, and that is off target. Now, a break for Nathan here. Nathan shoots. Hughes took the sting out of that, and it's a neat turn to take it out of the box. Tay gives chase. Thew trying to get the body in the way, but Tay did get a touch on the ball, and Poppy Tay down the left-hand side. Thew couldn't shepherd it over the line, but Thew, well, in the end, it is a goal kick. Touch off Tay, but that was a very interesting tussle to watch. I suspect it won't be the last physical battle we see between those two players. Nathan couldn't make it stick. Here go Uni, and then the ball aimed for Caspers, and then Thew finding herself in the way. Here's Nathan. Nathan, just a little bit of a loose touch. Quilligan. And Nicholas overlapping, that's Petkovsky, and Petkovsky might have won the 50-50 here. Crossing opportunity from the left side, it's in, and caught by Gray. Caspers loses out to 2 players. I have to say, although he was under a bit of pressure there from Rod. After that penalty save, Olympic have been doing a good job of protecting their goalkeeper and holding the ball. And 56th minute here, 0-0 between... Oh, sorry, what am I saying? Sydney Olympic beating Sydney University by 2-0. Chance to possibly looking to make it 3 as it's we've all been there. That's an unfortunate slip up. And Uni just can't get a hold of the ball at the moment. Bowman finding herself almost in central midfield. Can she thread it through? Nicholas, good first touch. Nicholas will shoot. And Gray knows that is rolling wide. Yes, it is 2-0 to Olympic over Sydney Uni. In case you missed any of the first half action, that's when both of the goals were scored. 1 own goal and 1 header from Baxter Thew. Early in the second half, it was an excellent penalty save from Olympic keeper Sophia Varley to deny Asher Sutton. Thew providing the help there, and forward it goes. Petkovsky. Can't find Trimis. Quilligan sweeping it up. A nice little spin to keep it away from Caspers. Varley wants to even. Probably a good sign when the keeper wants the ball. Varley moving in position for the back pass, but it's the outfielders for Olympic who have it. Forward to Nicholas. Controls the ball. Now one for Petkovsky to chase, but Gray very comfortable to move out to the outer reaches of a penalty area and claim the ball. Nathan brings Trimis into the play. And might open up for her centrally as she cuts inside Nicholas and then can't return the favour. Yeah, that's an interesting run. It's still going. Beat 2 plays defeat. Beaten in 2 plays in the middle. Goes for a tight shot from a tight angle. And now Casper Shorley. It's put over the line. I think by Poppy Tay. He'll get the credit. And if so, that's number 7 of the season for Poppy Tay. And more importantly, Sydney Uni have pulled a goal back after a sweeping counter-attack. It was Asher Sutton starting the run from inside her own half. Beat 2 defenders. The cross into the middle was too hot to handle.
Not sure who scored it.
Yes. There he goes. I'm watching the replay on the stream. Caspers could have scored. Poppy Tay did score. Her 7th of the season. And it's 2-1 now, that Olympic lead over Uni. But with more than half an hour played, that will certainly liven up the home fans in their hopes of getting something out of this game after a tough first half. And now Olympic. Possibly will that motivate them to... certainly I don't expect them to settle on a 2-1 lead with so long left to play, as Caspers has taken it away from Sosai. Caspers through the middle. Tay was onside, and Poppy Tay has been brought down. And it's a straight red for Jaya Bowman. You know what? I mean, I'm the ref. I don't think that's a second yellow. I think that's a straight red for denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity. And now Olympic down to 10 players. Great work from Caspers to win the ball in the midfield and play it through to Tay. Tay was fast, got there ahead of Bowman. He's won the free kick. And perhaps more crucially in the context of this game, Olympic down to 10 players. So it's Sutton over the long range set piece. Sophia Varley positioning at the wall. 4 players there. And Sutton, this is quite a way out, but she can strike a dead ball. We know this. Asher Sutton with the variation to Hughes. Hughes shoots, and that'll go. Well, it goes wide. Really convinced that that was a corner, but the decision is a goal kick. Now, and then Sophia Varley, first hurry up she's gotten from the referee. Of course, how will Olympic reshuffle? I had him, I'm the round ball analyst, so this took me some time to figure out. I had him as roughly 3-5-2 before the red card. I did. Listening into the instructions from the bench, and Olympic assistant coach Pete Nowakovsky did hear the shout that Fernandez was to drop into the back 3, and I think I see her alongside Thew and Sosai, as that is a goal kick. Now, Fernandez still stepping up quite a way to press. Good turn there, possibly from Van Dijk. Now Sutton finding herself in a deep position. Dishes it off. Farrow for the longer play. But Olympic favourites to get to this one, although Tay hasn't given up here. It is eventually worked back to Varley. Tay has given away the free kick. 63rd minute here. Sydney Uni 1, Sydney Olympic 2. Now, the turn by Quilligan plays it forward, and Trimis can't make it stick. Via one of my many group chats, the news is at Wanderers Football Park, a very quick fire. We'll hold that thought. Let's see how this breaks for Sutton first. Does bring it down, despite a loopy first touch. Sutton keeps it away from 2. That's brilliant work. She has options either side. Sutton, and then Tay had stopped her run, so the timing was a bit off there. This one's going to liven up. It's livening up in Rudy Hill. So a 10-minute hat-trick for Alyssa Ngsad. Has taken the Wanderers from 1-0 down against Hills to 3-1 up, I am told. Didn't know Dual Warriors Futsal Club players were allowed to score against Hills United. Anyway. Now, Urich tried to get the jump here. Bounced didn't quite favour, and Trimis, good technique. Now, but Uni, they've definitely got a more than a sniff as Caspers runs into Quilligan. Now, Olympic just trying to settle things. As Quilligan's under pressure. Coolly done though, out to Sosai. And then Uni think they've got the touch of Nathan. They do. And tackle from Van Dijk. Now Nathan, that's a strong run. Nathan wants to take on another defender. Might open up on the left side. And Witts is already on the move. That's where the ball goes. Witts one-on-one with Farrow. Morgan Witts tries to And lift it, but lifts it too much. That's a goal kick. One more plug, I think. And this is going to be a challenging voting decision for me this evening, but one more plug for the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week. That'll be released tomorrow afternoon on our socials at NPL_NSW_official, and NPL New South Wales also has a Facebook page. Who will be in the Team of the Week for round 16? I have a small say in it. That cleared into the picket fence. Olympic attacking throw coming up, but before that, a double substitution. So I saw a 9 and a 12 on the jerseys of the players coming on. That would mean Lauren Nada and Bella Voise-Yulden will enter the fray. So it is Maya Fernandez and Ruby Nathan, I believe, who are the players who will be substituted. So, I know Fernandez had dropped into defence. Of course, she did take a knock in the first half. These things may be a factor.
Olympic coming onto the field is number 9.
In fact, it looks like they're both going to play in defence. Maybe it's a reorganisation. Because looks like they might go from back 3 to back 4, Sydney Olympic, at least how they're lined in this particular phase of play, because Nada and Voise-Yulden both lining up at the back for the visitors. Van Dijk, nice play to let the ball run across her body and make space. That's also good from Hughes. Hughes aiming for Tay and Sosai with the good positioning. Wits with a run. The room is to the right. If they can get it to Trimis. Trimis, great first touch to beat Juric. Peter Trimis, and I think that might be Harris, the covering. And that's the little shirt tug there from Trimis has led to a Sydney Uni free kick. And as we continue to go around the grounds early in the second half at Marconi Stadium Field, number 2, behind the Palace, you could say. And it's 0-0 between Marconi and Nepean. Sosai down the line to Trimis. Trimis. Only decision there is a goal kick. That's not what Uni need to complete the comeback. No. It's not desperation time, but for Sydney Uni, but time starting to become Sydney Uni's enemy, as that's off Farrow and Olympic can advance the ball down that far side of the field. Wits. Nice play. Trimis. Trimis off Van Dijk's heel. Makes its way to Nicholas. And Nicholas can't get away from Farrow. Turns back. The support. I think that was Nada. It was. Near side. Pekovsky. Is it a give and go? No, Trimis goes direct, headed away. Now that's two straight and excellent starting position from Varley. So she's playing the sweeper keeper, but barely had to move forward. She was so advanced and so proactive with where she was standing. Sosai now. Good tackle from Hughes. Dinked up by Quilligan. Trimis keeps it moving. So does Petkovsky. Now Peter Trimis. There's room on the near side. Nicholas trying to make space in the middle. Peter Trimis might go herself. Here's Trimis. And it's across everything. That was agonizing for the Olympic faithful as they wanted to make it 3-1. Thrilling run from Trimis. And from a tight angle, she's beaten Gray, but also beaten the far post. Sutton from range, and that's a rather straightforward save for Varley. Go via various group chats, I'm told that Marconi have taken the lead against Nepean in the League One Women's Match of the Round. The Stallions galloping to yet another victory. Well, if you're curious, you could multi-screen and watch that one as well. If you do multi-screen, just promise me that you mute the other stream's audio, not my audio. Now, room running out for Olympic. Hosts get the ball back. 73rd minute here. Sydney Olympic leading Sydney Uni by 2-1. Goals in the first half for Olympic. An own goal and a header from Baxter Thew. Sydney Uni pulled one back via Poppy Tay. And then Jaya Berman of Olympic was sent off for a foul on Tay. And that has led to what I imagine will be quite a tense finish. 3 points up for grabs. Sydney Uni will think they have a chance, the numerical advantage, and they would feel some kind of advantage in momentum as well. But Olympic trying to carry, or create some momentum here. Nicholas turns sharply, holds it up, and a supporting run. I think that's Nada inside Petkovsky. Petkovsky shoots, and it's easy for Gray. And I think, my peripheral vision isn't the best. My central vision isn't that great either, but I think Morgan Witz was on the grass for a little bit. She's up back on her feet, the Olympic captain, but not moving too freely at the moment. Something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, Xavier Taylor is preparing a change for Sydney Uni. That'll be there first. Noor Hijazi. Number 19 is getting ready to come on as that cross is blocked. Nada looking for the diagonal ball, and the bouncing ball dealt with well by Juric, but let's call that a commentator's curse. Good for one of those every game. As Petkovsky now, and moved right. Long range effort from Witz, and it's flying in. What a strike from Morgan Witz to make it 3-1. She had room. She took advantage of it, put her foot through it. It's absolutely stunning from the Olympic captain. That's her 9th goal of the season, and that may be the most spectacular of the lot. Okay.
Is number 20, Hughes.
Well, there we go. In amongst the Olympic celebrations, Uni have made a sub. It is Ellen Hughes who makes way so that Noor Hijazi can come onto the field, and that looks more or less a straight swap. Hijazi straight into the Uni attack, and Uni facing a 2-goal deficit once more. Hijazi might even get a touch here. I think she will. The cutback opportunity, it's gone in. So there we go. It's 3-2. It's another own goal. And how about that for an impact sub? Noor Hijazi running in beyond the defense. And that's why you chase what might be a lost cause, kids. She kept it alive. It's an own goal, but Uni don't care. This is really livening up as we head into the final 15 minutes. There we go. Just Olympic didn't even have time to rest on the laurels of a 2-goal lead. Uni pegged them straight back. And I say, and I've known this for years, this competition. It's always good for late drama. We saw that earlier at Northbridge Oval. In the early game, Liz Barwick-Gray heading in an equaliser in the 92nd minute for a 4-4 draw between Bulls FC Academy and Spirit FC. We had 5 goals here, 6 at the Arctic Circle, 4 at Lakelands, and at least 4 at Rudy Hill. Not one so much for defenders and keepers this round, but the neutrals would be loving this, and the forwards as well. Van Dijk strong in the 50-50. Did Tay stay onside? The answer is no. The flag is up. Elia Elzane on the far side, the assistant, raises the flag, and I did take a quick look at AR2 because Tay was what you might call suspiciously open, and there we go. There's a reason she was so open. So, well, I mean, assuming they fixed the scoreboard so it counts 1 for a goal instead of 2 at Rudy Hill, Hills appear to have pulled a goal back. So it's now Wanderers 3, Hills 2. So 5 goals there as well. Meanwhile, I see another player preparing to come on. I think that would be 28 for Sydney Olympic, which would be one of Mangakababayan, one of the fellow members of the Filipino community, Rochelle Borromeo. By the way, on this topic, fellow another Filipino, Izzy Antonio, also on the bench for Olympic. And Borromeo perhaps brought on to freshen things up as I think it's Juliana Nicholas that has made way. I think. Yep, I see a number 11, and they're not taking the throw.
Leaving the field, I believe, number 11, Jules Nicholas.
Rad up and over. Tay, a willing runner, even though the legs obviously and understandably starting to tire, but there's a chance for a point. There's a chance for a dramatic comeback here if you're Sydney Uni. 2-0 and 3-1 down. Very much in the fight as Hijazi with the quick feet. Might still have it. That's decent play. Thew has stepped up and stepped up well. So, and then won the free kick also, and in fact, well, the cards are starting to flow. I think Hijazi has been booked for what they call delaying the restart. Thew, long. Wits. Spreads it wide, Trimmers. She doesn't mind the shot from range, it must be said. And If you remember her spectacular goal for the Mariners against Olympic during the summer, you know that as that. There's a right idea from Sosai. I think didn't get the curl she wanted. Didn't quite bend into Petkovsky's pass the way she wanted. Uni, no time to waste into the final 10 minutes of regulation time. Still chasing some kind of result. Boise Yulden gets the jump there and no risks taken. It's up. Rod over her head, around the back. I think that's Juric. But a big chase there, and I think that's Sasai who's done well. Could have been a 1-on-2, but she was quick enough to defend against the cross. Did not even concede the corner. Now, Uni free kick. As I had a bit of silent contemplation about where my 3-2-1 votes will go. Lots of contenders. Sandbrook, Uni skipper, is up. Delivers the set piece in swinger. A few heads away. Then it's retrieved by Hijazi. Kaspers to Tay. Tay on the half turn. There's a supporting runner. It's Juric. And Xantha Juric couldn't make it stick. It's all the way forward from left back. That's definitely the stage of the game Sydney Uni are at. And defenders joining the attack when they can. And Varley, bit of game management there, running off every second possible before using the gloves. As Rod closes down, but it will be an Olympic throw. And Borromeo, good technique, held it up. But Uni, the press is successful. Though Borromeo, even those little efforts are valuable, even to slow down their opponents. But Uni take a lot to slow them down. The mood there, and they're keen for this. Good composure from Thew, but Hijazi sticks to the task. Olympic throw, and Borromeo's down on the grass. So he may have another stoppage. Yeah, physio is on. So, at least Borromeo is sitting up, but while we have the break, let's look at upcoming fixtures for these two teams. So, yes, let's start with Sydney Uni. So, Sunday, 28th of June at 5 p.m. kickoff here at the Uni ground against Rangers. Will Constantinides is rostered for that one. Then on Sunday, 5th of July, I'll be making the same South Coast trip as Sydney Uni because I'll be calling their 3 p.m. kickoff on the 5th of July away to the Stingrays. Sunday, 12th of July, Uni are back here for a 5 p.m. game against Hills United. Sunday, 19th of July, they got a 3 p.m. away game against MacArthur Rams. And then Sunday, 26th of July, a 5 p.m. home game against Northern Tigers. Uni versus Tigers, I like to call that the Alex the Astronaut Derby because, yes, that well-known musician did play for both clubs. I have a lot of obscure NPL Women's New South Wales facts in my head. That might be the most obscure one. And it's a stacked field. Now, Witts pinged for the foul there and will go into the notebook as well. That's a long way out for a direct shot. But I think Caspers will look for a teammate. In fact, that's unfortunate for Borromeo. I think She's been subbed after picking up that knock. Wasn't on the field very long. Kira Bolden. Yes, Kira Bolden, number 30 for Olympic, replacing Rochelle Bottomeo. Straight into the wall, I believe, as well, as Caspers swings one in towards the back post. There's Uni players there. Who's it off last? Off Uni for a goal kick. 86th minute here. Sydney Uni 2, Sydney Olympic 3. Now Olympics next fixtures. Sunday 28th of June, 5:30 p.m. They're away to Hills United at Valentine Sports Park. That'll be called by Teo Pellizzeri. Sunday 5th of July, they're at their home of the Crest for a 5:40 p.m. game against Bulls FC Academy. That'll be rostered. Roster says Will Constantinidis calls that one. Saturday 11th of July, a 5 p.m. away game to UNSW. And we'll hold that thought. Here's Hijazi, left side of the box. Blocked by Sosai. Corner coming up. I wonder, I think... Not quite in keeper-up territory yet. For Sydney Uni. Anyway, upcoming games for Olympic Sunday, 19th of July, 4:40 p.m. home game against RPL Leichhardt. I will call that one. Then Sunday, 26th of July, 3 p.m. away game to MacArthur Rams. Olympic versus MacArthur Rams, I like to call that the Teresa Polias Plate. Everyone except Trim is back for this corner as it comes in. Headed away by Thew. Hijazi with a touch. Tay looking to play it back to the corner taker, but there's good pressing there. And at least that allows Olympic to step up. Tay. And the only decision there is a goal kick, as it was Voisey Yulden coming across on the cover. Sophia Varley, well, she's got to be careful because she's already been warned about delaying the restart once in this half. Varley aims for midfield. Juric with the header. Yet another header from Baxter Thew. Then Riggs for Juric. Here's Hijazi, near side. Juric wants to play more direct, and Thew stepping up and taking over. A bit of a centre-back run coming up. That's brilliant. And now Trimis, interesting ball. Bolden will take over. 1-on-1 against the opposing captain. And Bolden, does she head straight for the corner flag? No, she tries to find Trimis. And then the keeper called for it, but Harris decided to take over and finds the open player far side. Possibly Rad. There's Rad. I can't pick up a teammate. Farrow, another long throw. Tay, was he able to spin away? She was. Poppy Tay, defended by Voisey Yulden. Did she get the touch of Tay? She did. That's excellent from the substitute. Getting around on the cover. As before we're done, one more shout out for games next weekend. I've already said Sydney Unis and Sydney Olympics next game. Start with the League One Women's Match of the Round, Sunday 28th of June, 5 p.m, Blacktown City versus South Coast Flame. And as for top-tier action, NPL Women's, Saturday 27th of June, 3 p.m. from the Arctic Circle. It's Spirit versus Northern Tigers. I'm not calling that game, but if you listen closely, you might hear my voice. Sunday 28th of June, 2:40 p.m, top-of-the-table clash between Bulls FC Academy and UNSW. The kind of game Annabelle Banfield deserves to call, so I hope the roster is correct. Sunday 28th of June, 2 games at 3 p.m, MacArthur hosting the Wanderers and the Stingrays hosting the Ravens. So it's Emily Arnold's turn for a South Coast trip there. Handball shout, but it won't matter in the end because that shot is way away from the target. And then Sunday 28th of June, 2 games at 5 p.m. on the Northern Beaches to call RP's away game against Manly. And also at 5 p.m, as I said earlier, Uni hosting Rangers. And 5:30 p.m, Sunday 28th of June, Hills United hosting Sydney Olympic. There we go. Absolutely sport for choice. You've got all of that. You've got next weekend you'd have 8 NPL Men's New South Wales games as well to choose from should you wish. And a bit of shameless self-promotion. I'll on Friday night, Friday 26th of June. I'm calling the League One men's match of the round. Blacktown Spartans up against Rydomere Lions, and I'll be calling that with long-time League One men's reporter Justin Smith. Really looking forward to that. As Bolden has taken over, Bolden to Trimmis, and Trimmis will shoot, blocked. Can Olympic keep it alive? There's too much blue and gold in the way. Strong run from Caspers, and we're definitely in time added on territory here. There's not much time left for somebody to be a late hero for Sydney Uni, but there is enough time for one more chance if they're precise enough and if they're quick enough. Sandbrook drives into opposing territory. Good ball out to Juric. Juric wants it on the right foot. Crosses off Thew, and then it falls nicely for Sophia Varley. And Thew, who was unlucky to concede that own goal, who's been good today, and she deserved a little bit of that luck with that defensive header. Juric. I think that's Van Dijk. And intercepted by Petkovsky now, which is not really moving freely there. And there it is. I think we get. I hope that's just cramp. So, should see Petkovsky sitting up, but yeah, as someone a lot less fit than everyone out there on the field, yeah, that did look like a cramp. Now, the discussion's going on, but this will add. We've had about 2 minutes time added on, but it's going to be more than what was intended. Possibly intended only a few minutes ago now. It's just going to build the tension. They only need one chance to rescue something from this game. Will they get it? I'd say Olympic have responded well after going down to 10 players. There's been some reshuffling, some adjustments made from the dugout as well. Petkovsky back to her feet. And in fact, I think she's let's see. Now, not sure. My notes aren't official. I think they've used all their sub windows. So they are down to 9 for however much we have left. But anyway, into the 4th minute of time added on we go. Bolden heading for the corner flag. Just wants to shepherd it. So we're definitely in a full game management mode if you're Sydney Olympic, as that is kept in. And Olympic want it as far away from their goal as possible. Bolden. Little cameo here. Little just trying to keep possession. Finally, Uni have it. But whatever they do, it's got to be quick. And that should be Olympic ball. Yes, Olympic throw. Offside down the line more. Bolden hold work, not really. Not coming up. As Caspers under heavy pressure, not much room. Caspers can't get the better of two players. Another touch for Bolden. Plenty of touches in this. But she's been on the field, 7, 8 minutes by my guess? This is... It's always a bit nervous when you're down to 10 and only leading by a single goal, but yes, Olympic keeping the ball in this part of the field is making their fans feel a little bit better, as that is out for a goal kick. There is a glance at the watch from the ref. Scarlet Grey. There's a diag to the far side. I think that's Farrow. Farrow might have lost out here. So here's Witts, and that is that. So despite the red card, despite plenty of pressure at the end, the Sydney Olympic are back in the winner's circle with a 3-2 triumph over Sydney University. They scored twice in the first half, did Olympic, an own goal and a goal from Baxter Thew. Then there was a brilliant penalty save from Sophia Varley of Olympic early in the second half before Poppy Day did find the net for Sydney Uni to make it 2-1. Morgan Witts made it 3-1 with a spectacular long-range strike. And then there was another own goal, this time in favour of Sydney Uni to make it 3-2. And that's how we got to the final scoreline. 5 goals and plenty of action to warm you up on this Sunday evening. Well, it's about time to sign off. But we certainly hope you've enjoyed what you've seen this evening. So keep an eye out for NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week tomorrow afternoon, as well as all the wonderful content we have across social, Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube channel. It's time to get out of here. So on behalf of Football New South Wales, our broadcast partner Sportscast, today's camera operator Rob, this is Eric Subihano signing off from the Sydney Uni Football Ground. Final score here is Sydney University 2, Sydney Olympic 3. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.